All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is May 8th. We got ourselves a Wednesday and just one NBA game on today's slate. We're looking at game number 2 of the Knicks taking on the Pacers. Knicks win game number 1 by 4 points. That was a 121 to 117 win. In today's game, still in New York, they are a 4.5 point favorite. The total sitting at 220. I have my lean on the spread, my lean on the total, and 2 player props I want to jump into in today's video as well. Before we do that, guys, let's talk about last night. Not exactly the best night from us. We did hit our plus money play of Daniel Gafford. We were a couple points away from a nice same game parlay in the Celtics game, but overall, a 1-4 night, and in full transparency, it's even worse money-wise than a 1-4 night because, again, our only win was a 0.5 unit play. So I think, we're due for some bounce back of that. And shout out to the people that I get mad that I'm chuckling that we lost. Losses happen in sports betting. I'm sorry I'm not on here crying. We look to bounce back today. At least I'm showing you the losses, right? In terms of the ride of the day, it does not get any better. 32.5 points plus assists is what we were looking for from Jason Tatum here. That was coming in from Josh. Let's see what Jason Tatum finished with because the points just didn't come through, right? He had 18 points and 5 assists. So that, doing quick math there, is a 23. If we flip those numbers around, we get a little bit closer, but nonetheless, we have to drop the womp womp for Josh here with the ride of the day, but it was a good attempt. If you guys don't know what the ride of the day is, or if you do know what the ride of the day is, use that hashtag ride of the day in the comments. I'm jumping on board with one person's pick, giving you a shout out in the next video, win or loss. If you win, we continue to ride with your picks. Make sure you're following me over on my socials at evpicks on Instagram, and then I'm also tweeting out the ride of the day over on Twitter /X at evguyboston. That'll pop up throughout the show right around here as well. But yeah, like I said, we're due for a bounce back here. Not exactly our best night last night, but we've still been doing really well in the playoffs, really well in the regular season, so there's the silver lining, right? But in terms of a spread pick here, I guess based on what... Let's be honest, you can go either way with this, right? Like, you could pick up things that you liked about the Pacers or things that they could do better. You could say that, well, the Knicks won and they executed down the stretch, whatever. This should be a really tight series. So let's not get all the hate comments being like, how could you ever? No, this is a series in which there is no, like, right answer until the game is over. We can be transparent about that. I do think the Indiana Pacers have a chance to knot it up, though, in this spot. Now, it's going to come down to a couple things for me. First off, the Pacers lose. They won, what was it? Did they win 2 of the quarters last game? Maybe whatever it was, right? They pretty much competed the entire game, and some weird stuff happened at the end of that game that makes you question, like, hey, is this thing planned? I mean, I don't believe that, but it was a little bit weird. But this is really going to come down to a couple things. Is there any progression out of what we've seen from Siakam and what we've seen from Halliburton? That's really what I'm focusing on here. Let's talk about Halliburton for a second. Now, he is banged up, as we know. He's been on the injury report. He's been playing, however. But last game, in game number 1, he shot the ball 6 times. Just 6 times and made 2 of them. Both were threes, finished with 6 points, 8 assists, and 2 rebounds. That is not a healthy Halliburton overall, as we know. In fact, if we want to look at how he's done, this season he averaged 19, so almost 20 points per game, 13.3 assists, and 4 rebounds against them. That isn't exactly what we saw in that game number 1, right? Again, if I read off that stat line, 6, 8, and 2. The thing is, if he progresses or if he bounces back and gets more into form, I do like the Pacers, but it's almost like I want to wait out to see, is he fully healthy? He's playing 37 minutes. Like, it's a huge factor for me. Siakam needs to score the ball more. He started off the playoffs on an absolute tear. He's kind of come back down to earth. We do have a player prop on him that we'll get into later on in the video. But I guess, without any more rambling, because I know you guys clearly hate when I talk in my own videos, I'm going to lean towards the Pacers plus the 4.5 points here. But it's making me second guess myself constantly before hitting place bet because I need to know if Halliburton is healthy. So we'll try to monitor that as best we can. But at this point, talk about gambling. Like, you're gambling on the other team's star player's health right now. So it is a little bit tricky. But give me the Pacers plus the 4.5 points. I think it's going to be a good, hard-fought series. And 4.5 clearly, if last game's any indicator, could come up big in this spot. In terms of the total, I'm certainly not ready to take the under. You have the Knicks playing with a decent amount of pace and the Pacers playing with a decent amount of pace, and both of these teams are not defending well in transition. Like, the Knicks have been a really good defense. When they slow you down, they have you in the half court. That is not the Pacers' MO. So you have a team in the Pacers that loves transition, a Knicks team that does not fare too well in transition overall. Neither one of these teams. So if this game starts going back and forth like we saw plenty of times and stretches during last game, I like the over 220 yet again. Before we do get into the player props, guys, I do want to talk to you about FanDuel. If you're not on FanDuel yet, you can bet $5 and get a $150 bonus into your account if that bet wins. Just go take a huge favorite. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not, but seriously, bet $5. If that bet cashes, literally, you get $150. Go take an alternate line on something, knock it way down. Obviously, there's stipulations that apply, but go check it out. I have a link in the pinned comment. You'll also get a 30% profit boost. Shout out to Bill Simmons. It's his promo over on FanDuel that we'll probably be using in one of our plays today. So again, that link is in the pinned comment. Always tell you guys to have more sports books to be able to line shop and get the best odds out there. So if you're not on FanDuel yet, they do so many promos and everything, guys, and you get this new customer deal. Go check it out. That link is in the pinned comment. If you're in Ohio, you get an even better deal. I think it's like bet 5, get 300. So go ahead and check that out. But let's dive into our player prop number 1 in this spot. I'm going to be jumping into Outlier. As always, I have a link for Outlier in the pinned comment as well, 7 days free. Running right back to something that I'm liking. Looking at Jalen Brunson, under 8.5 assists. You are paying a little bit of juice here. I don't mind an under 7.5 if you really need plus money, but after a night like last night that we had, we may just want to kind of secure some wins, but this is a guy that really has struggled against Indiana in terms of getting assists. Am I saying Brunson's going to have a bad game or it's time to fade him? No, I'm not an idiot. The dude is going absolutely off in the playoffs, right? But from an assist perspective, he's only averaging, 13, 15 potential assists per game, and when he's getting those 19 and 18 numbers, sure, he's hitting the over, but this is a Pacers team that, kind of crazy to say, number 1 team this year in preventing point guards from dropping dimes, and like I said, Brunson, 6 straight games in which he stayed under the mark, and to be completely honest, like, he hasn't even really sniffed it. Didn't sniff it in that game number 1. I think he had like 1 assist after 1 quarter. I felt like we cashed that early, even though it's never over until the fat lady or the fat YouTuber sings. But nonetheless, Brunson under 8.5 assists, and then we're running it back right to and under here. Pascal Siakam under 7.5 rebounds. He's done it in 3 straight playoff games here. What I like is that he also has done it in 3 straight games against the Knicks. And the Knicks, the best team at preventing power forwards from rebounding the rock here. So Siakam under in rebounds, even from a rebound perspective when it comes to chances, right? Let's look at the last 5 games. 17, 16. Okay, yeah, he hits his over. But look what he's doing lately. 9, 12, and 9. If you don't know how I operate those, I usually say you're going to get about half of your rebound chances, which he did in both of these games. Then this one, he obviously grabs, 66% of them, but even still, with 9 rebound chances in game 1, he doesn't have enough chances to go up and over. So for him to have 9 rebound chances and get 8 rebounds would be super, super difficult. So Siakam under 7.5 rebounds is play number 2. As always, guys, keep an eye on the pinned comment. That's where all of my final plays will be if you are interested in riding me or fading me. Obviously, we got the fade me jersey back there. All those final plays will be in the pinned comment. That's all I have for you guys today. Hope you guys do enjoy. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Let's stay positive in the NBA here. I know that was a bad night last night, but I still got a smile on my face. Loving playoff basketball. Let's go. Catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.